All right, coming back with a part 2 with more experience than ever, contracts, agents. We've got all your answers.
Meet and greets. Let's go.
All right, guys. So about 6 months ago, we came out with our meet and greets a scam, or maybe not.
Yes.
And we kind of gave you the ups and downs of what meet and greets are, and we had lots of interactions, lots of comments, and people told us that we didn't know what we were talking about.
I know who y'all are. I remember.
When we clearly have a clue, but let me tell you now, we have everything ironclad.
I definitely know now,
Molly's been in the business
a while.
Venues, local bands, national bands,
all of the
Hall of Fame bands. We've talked to agents, booking agents. We've seen contracts. We have all the answers now. We told you we would. And so we are to kind of give you the answers and give you our thoughts. See if anything's changed. Now, we have changed our mind on something.
A little bit, but not really. I was pretty right the first time.
Well, it's supposed to be a cliffhanger, so watch the video.
I wasn't right the first time, and I was dumb.
Exactly.
But now I'm not.
Exactly. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to kind of do a Q&A based on some of the questions we had last time.
He's going to be Q and I'm going to be A.
Yeah.
Basically.
All right, so what is the general expectation of a meet and greet or a VIP? We're going to kind of throw both of those together.
Yeah.
VIP/meet and greet experience.
I think the general expectation is that I'm going to pay a lot of money as a fan, and I'm going to get great seats. I'm going to get better food, better merchandise, maybe a merchandise pack. I'm going to get to meet the band. I'm going to get to talk to them. We're going to get a picture, and it's going to be all, hunky-dory. It's going to be amazing. That's not true, by the way.
Okay, so let's kind of break down to what VIPs generally get. So VIPs generally get some type of preferred seating. Mm-hmm. They usually get their own entrance. They usually get their own merchandise stand. And sometimes they have access to more like bar or
like a lounge
concession area.
But I will also say VIPs, just because you buy a VIP ticket does not mean you're going to be in the front. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they have VIP tables and they're a couple rows back. Sometimes they're on the side. So just because you buy VIP tickets does not mean you're going to be in the pit in the front.
Yeah, and sometimes, let me kind of hit that, sometimes there is a pit in front of you.
Yeah, in front of the VIP.
In front of the VIP table. So, and sometimes that's one of the worst seats to have. So I would definitely check out the layout. Because if you're like at a restaurant or like kind of a small local venue where everything's kind of one level, mm-hmm. and they do have a pit area, I would kind of suggest that you not be right there on the front row because you're going to have people standing up in front of you the whole time.
For example, the other day I worked a show and the VIP section was on the side of the stage. So you could literally only see like 2 people on stage and you're seeing it from like the side angle only. And I would just remember looking at that and I was like, I would be so upset if that was the VIP that I bought and I'm not even like in the front of the stage. Yeah. But that's when you have to look at it. Hey, what am I buying? Which that's going to be our next thing. What do you actually buy when you get a meet and greet or a VIP package? So we talked about the VIP a little bit. If you buy a meet and greet ticket or a VIP ticket
package
and it doesn't say meet the band in the package, you're not gonna meet the band. So that's really important that people don't read the fine print of what's in the package. Sometimes VIP is like what we just said. Sometimes it doesn't involve you having any interaction with the band whatsoever. I've seen some where it's like you get a picture with the stage. Mm-hmm. Wow, like what a good deal.
Yeah. Or you can go stand in front of the stage and somebody can take a picture.
Exactly. And like that I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Some people love that. Some people are all about it because it's about the camaraderie of the fans together and it's awesome. But if you want to meet the band, maybe check if your ticket for $700, $800 involves meeting the band. And now we're going to talk a little bit about what meeting the band entails as well. So, guys.
So fantasy versus reality.
On meeting the band.
And this does change a little bit based on the level of the band as well.
And it also changes a lot based on the years, because we had a lot of comments in the last video saying, well, I met this band in the 80s. Well, that's great. It's not the 80s. So a lot has changed, especially when it comes to security and also the ages of some of these people that you met in the 80s. Well, they're in their late 70s now. And things are different. You know, they're not running around and jumping off the walls like they used to. So when we go into like the levels of what meeting the band is, so level 1 is going to be like more local bands. Maybe they're touring, but it's like around the Southeast or like just smaller touring bands. And at this level, a lot of them you won't actually have to pay for. And you can meet them before, after the show. And I 1000% recommend to go talk to the band before and after the show. They will love it. They love getting, you know, any kind of attention that they can, really. Tell them you love their music. Tell them you came to their show before. Ask them to sign something. Ask to take a picture. That will make some of these people's day. I mean, genuinely go to these shows. Hey, if it's a show at the bar down the street and you're thinking about it, go see it. Because you never know. You never know if it's going to be life-changing.
Yeah, so you have to be a little bit more proactive with this level. So if you want something signed, they're probably not going to have, 8x10s or, record covers or anything like that. So you're going to have to be responsible for that, and you're going to have to carry a paint pen or something like that. Don't expect them to have that.
Exactly.
Molly works with Guardians of the Jukebox, which is a local Atlanta band.
Shout out Guardians.
And they are amazing.
Yes,
and
they are. We
were following them before Molly got to work with them. And one of the reasons Molly did get to work with them is because they
up all the time.
They started to recognize, because they do have a following, but you have this same group that follows everywhere, and the band loves it, and they want to interact more with the community.
Even working with them now, people come up and they're like, "Oh my gosh, can we get pictures? Hey, can we get them to sign?" Yeah, of course. Like people like that, they love it, and they're so good with their fans. Like it's absolutely insane. If Guardians comes to your town, go see them. Because they are so good. And like that's the thing, I followed them around and I talked to them before and after pretty much every show, and I went to like 6 or 7 before I actually got hired with them. So just go talk to people, make friends with the fans, and then if they get really, really big, you can say, well, I was at their first shows. Well, I was there from the beginning. And who doesn't want to say that about a band,
So recap. Local bands, 100%.
Go talk to them.
100%. Do yourself a favor. Try to find some local people. I know it's some area, like it's a little bit easier for us around Atlanta than it would be back when we lived in Mississippi.
Of course.
So I certainly understand that. But you still, if you can, try to find some local groups and at least follow them on Instagram.
That too.
They like that too.
Yes, any attention is good. Good.
Okay, so let's go to the next level up.
Next level up, we're going to say national acts, but they're not
headliners or Hall of Famers.
Right, they're not like baseball stadium level tours. These are, maybe some amphitheater, higher up venues, but not like the thousands of dollars to get in like the Beyoncés and the Taylor Swift. We're not getting to that yet. We'll get to that in a second.
So this will be something like Fozzy. We had another video of the meet and greet for them. They came out before their tour and said that, hey, this is what you're going to get. So we were able to watch their sound check where they played a couple of songs that they did not play at the concert, which I thought was kind of neat. They said you could bring 2 items to get signed and you could do a little Q&A with them. And we got pictures taken with our cell phone. And that was all kind of really organized and done. I thought that was done really well.
Yes.
So
I think they are really, really good with their fans also. Really good at meet and greets. I would recommend it all the way to go meet them. But people on this level, you're going to start paying for it. So it's going to be 100, 200, maybe 300, depending on what band you're going to see.
And the tickets to go see the concert are going to be higher.
Yeah.
And they're going to be a little bit higher too.
Right. So these are the ones that you're like, well, you know, I really want to meet these people. And somebody like that who has a very fan-catered experience, I would definitely recommend. Because if you want to meet these people, it's prime opportunity to meet them and also spend a little bit more time with them than you would some of these really, really big acts that you're going to get like that much time with. These people care a lot about their fans.
And this size band will be more intentional on their meet and greet, so they'll have a little bit more planned out than some of the next level bands.
Right. So I would say I recommend if it's somebody you want to spend the money on, because just like I said, check what's in the details of the VIP meet and greet package, and if it's something you want, go for it. And if you're like, well, I don't know, then maybe pass, maybe you'll get it next time, or whatever else. Do some research on it. Then we're gonna get to the third tier, and these are like the Beyoncés and Taylor Swifts and the Hall of Fame bands, the really big people. Guys, you could pay thousands of dollars. Like, we're gonna go see Metallica, and their meet and greets are through the roof expensive, and I would say no. Me personally, as a fan, I love Metallica. They're amazing. But if I'm paying that much money, and then only some of them do meet and greets, like James Hetfield does not talk to fans, that I like.
Well, he doesn't do meet and greet.
Right. Well,
if you meet him,
you know what I mean.
If you meet him on the street somewhere, that's a little different.
I'm not saying he's like no fan, no, but like in meet and greet, he does not do meet and greets, and to that I respect it absolutely. But in my mind, as a fan, I don't know that I would want to pay that much money to meet only two members of the band. I don't even know which two it is.
Yeah, because a lot of times they'll rotate.
Right. So I could meet, I might not even meet my favorite member of the band because I don't know who's meeting that day. Things like that, for me personally, I would not recommend it. But if it's somebody I have to meet these people, and you're okay with a handshake, nice to meet you, click a picture and be done, then sure. If you're willing to pay thousands of dollars for that, to each their own, I will not be joining you, but I get it. Like,
well, even on a lower level, we went to Kiss Cancer Goodbye, which was a multi-day event with Eric Singer and Bruce Kulick from Kiss. And Molly really wanted to meet Eric Singer because we have tons of Kiss merchandise. Yeah. And it was just so happened that we were able to do it.
Right.
And we bought the picture meet and greet.
Meet and greet picture package thing.
meet and greet.
I'll say this. I absolutely jumped on this one, and I didn't read the print on what you get in it. And that's my bad. And this is why I'm telling you of advice that I should have taken in the moment, because it was a very normal meet and greet experience where you go and, hey, nice to meet you, how's it going, click a picture, all right, see you later. And then they printed the picture with a professional photographer, and you didn't get it till the next day.
Right.
And then in our case, because we left, we didn't get it until almost a month later because they had to mail it to us.
And we had to get in touch with them to get an address for us. So that was a headache.
Read the print on what you're buying. I was saying I think I would have been upset, but I did get to meet Eric Singer earlier in that day. So I was a little bit less upset because I got what I wanted. But a lot of people don't do that. If it's a show, people aren't going to just walk out and sign things before the show.
Yeah, and then the day that we left, we found out that Eric and Bruce, again, had another kind of signing.
But they're such an anomaly because they're just really nice people and they just want to meet people. And I love that. But, Yeah, if you just bought the package of, hey, here's a picture, I think I would have been a little not happy
So
about that.
after a long day, because it was like a multi-day event.
Oh yeah, we were there at like 9 o'clock in the morning. It
Yeah,
was
to the end, to the
insane.
very end of the day, and
Until
then
11 p.m.
you had to go line up, and we probably stood in line for X amount of time
Yeah.
because you're 100% at the mercy
Of the venue.
of the artist and the venue at that point. So if it may have been an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily we were inside, but sometimes these things are not inside. So if it's raining, like if you're at an amphitheater or something like that, have
Weather's a big part
have a
of it.
rain jacket, even if it's not looking like rain, because
Yeah.
you never know. Or if it's cold, you're going to be stuck out in the cold. These things are not immediately.
Think about
you're
it.
going to have to wait. So I would say if it's a before show meet and
Absolutely.
greet,
Go
I would
for
say
it.
your chances of being more successful or
Yeah.
pleasant than an after show, because after show, especially like for us, we like to see a lot of the older artists before they stop touring. So
Yeah.
we're trying to go see the Alice Coopers and the Rob Zombies and the Metallicas and
The Kiss and the-
Gene Simmons touring
Right.
and people like that. But we also understand that these guys are also, getting on up in their age. So if we do a VIP or the Ace Frehley experience, if we do VIPs, just understand that they're going to make their own rules because of,
Yes.
they have to get comfortable first.
Yes. So how that kind of works, we'll touch on that a little bit. So the artist will make in their contract whether they want to do a meet and greet, whether they don't. Some people just say no altogether. Hey, I don't feel like it. I can't risk it. Because a lot of these older artists, if you're getting to your late 70s, early 80s, start getting, it's a health risk to take, and they can't get over, easier, illnesses, colds, the flu, COVID, things like that they can't get over as easy as they could if they were 30 or 40. These are in their 70s and 80s. Some of them have ongoing health issues anyway. A lot of them will say, no, I'm not doing one at all. I can't risk it, which is completely respectable. But the ones who do decide to do it will put it in their contract. Hey, we'll do one. I just want to take, some will say no pictures. Some will be like, oh, well, we'll do a professional photograph, shake their hand, whatever. Very easy. Or like Fozzy, hey, I want to do pictures and I want to have time to talk to people. I want to sound check. I want to do all of this stuff. All of that is decided by the artist and their manager. That goes into the contract, puts into the technical writer, and that will be sent to venues. And then the venues decide how they want to do that. So before the show, after the show, whatever. But I will also say, after the show, we are completely at the mercy of the artist and when they're ready. So if they want to take an hour and a half to recover after the show before they do a meet and greet, they can do that. And speaking from venue staff, we can't do anything about that. So I understand that you're upset and you're complaining, but also as much as you want to get your experience and go home, the workers are in the same category. We can't get our stuff and go home until everyone in the venue is taken care of.
And security is almost always run by the venue.
Yes, security. An artist might bring one or two guys with them. A band might bring a little bit more. But security is going to be by the venue too. So please do not harass workers and security and things that you want to get this or you want to go backstage or you want to meet the artist. They don't have control over that.
They don't care. Honestly.
Look, I've worked it. People have asked me. The answer's no. I don't care if you bought 2 more plates of food than everybody else. I'm still not going to let you backstage. That's still not my job to do. If you want to meet and greet, I'm not going to push you to the front of the line because you want to go home. So don't ask me that. That is dumb.
You would be surprised.
Guys.
You would be surprised.
That's what I'm saying. If you sign up for it, then sit there and wait in line for your turn. I don't care who you are. You can stand in line. You can stand in the line like everybody else.
Okay.
But
So, do you think that they are worth it?
I would say overall, yes. If it's somebody you really want to meet, go meet them. But don't be surprised if it's a quick pat on the back, hey, let's take a picture and leave.
Or if they have like a X marks the spot where the band is behind you,
and you have to stand in front,
and you're in front of them, and they kind of snap a picture, because that happens, and that's happening more and more that we're seeing.
Like I said, some of these artists with more health risk things,
or during certain times of year,
stand over there, and we'll stand back here. I know Motley Crue did that for a long time. That they would stand on their podiums, and you would stand in the front. Mm-hmm. And to that, I mean, just know what you're getting and don't complain when you pay for it.
Try to do some research if you can.
Yes, just make sure that you know what you're getting. And also, if you're meeting artists and they're infamously rude to fans, don't think that you're going to be magically different. Don't think that they're going to be like, oh, well, this person, I'm going to be really nice to this person. If they are mean to everybody else, chances are they might be mean to you too.
Or maybe not even mean, but just
a little off-putting.
Short.
Yeah. Don't think that you're going to be any different if they're just like that as people. I see that a lot too, of like, well, I know they're mean, but like I thought it would be different. Why? Why would you think it's going to be different?
All these other people, but I'm different.
Right. But I think everybody wants to think that. Everyone has that like self-centered, hey, well, they're going to be nice to me.
Yeah. I would kind of throw in a word of caution, just like we did last time. It's like, if you have really high expectations of somebody,
maybe don't meet them,
I think, the saying, don't meet your heroes is still very true, because I've seen some things, like, luckily, like Eric Singer and them worked out, because Molly has a ton of Eric Singer autographs.
I love Eric Singer. He is probably one of my top 3 favorite musicians of all time. And when I was standing in line, it didn't hit me until right before I was going to meet him that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really scared. Like, what if he's mean?
Yeah.
And like, I know he's not mean. Like in the back of my head, I knew that he is like just one of those people who's just really nice.
Yeah.
But it hits you and you're like, I really look up to this guy. I really hope that it goes well, because like I don't know what I'm gonna do if I leave and he wasn't nice to me.
Which is a very strong possibility.
And that's I would say, just don't meet your heroes, because you really never know. And if I met somebody who I loved and listened to every day of my life and they were not nice to me, I think my view on everything would change, I think I would be
100%
a changed person.
Yeah, well, so, we're fans of many people, but if we ever had I know personally, if I ever had a bad experience with somebody, I don't think I would continue to be fan.
No, I think the same.
So I would say, for me, local bands, 100%.
Yes.
Just be more proactive. You're going to have to kind of recognize them, because sometimes they'll
blend in.
They'll put a hat or a beanie on, and they'll put glasses on, and you won't be able to know who's who. And so if that's the case, you're going to have to be more proactive. Middle-sized bands, I think you're still...
you're safe.
I think you're still pretty good. We're talking $100, $50, somewhere in there.
It's when you start paying those high dollars.
Well,
for
like
people.
the Nita Strauss, the Fozzy, like good, talented people,
good artists
that want to have good experiences with their fans. It's still important for them to relate to their fans.
Exactly.
And then you go to like the Hall of Fame guys who are maybe doing a reunion tour or something like that.
They've been around for 50 years or 40 years or whatever.
Those would be the one I probably would not.
Yeah, I think it would really depend.
I have stronger feelings for those guys, and you're talking about having a bigger chunk to your wallet. Yeah. I would probably spend more money to get better seats.
Yes.
Than try to get okay seats, and then try to get like a meet and greet.
I agree. Yeah, I think my number one piece of advice, I have 2. Number 1, read the fine print on what you're buying, which I already said, but I'm going to like reinforce this extra. please read what you're buying before you buy it. As someone who didn't do that, please make sure that you read what you get. And part 2 is to just enjoy every moment. You know, concerts are meant to be fun. They're meant to be fun for everybody. If you're sitting there complaining and not taking it seriously and, oh, well, I want to go home. Well, this is taking too long. You know, the people behind you might be super excited and they're super hype, and you might make them like it less. You know, it's all about building that relationship, not only with artists, but with the other fans, because those are the people, you know, y'all are all connecting over one thing. Just go, have fun, enjoy it. Don't take it for granted, and just have a good time.
And going to a concert has changed our life.
It has.
And we'll get that video a little bit later.
Well, going to concerts has quite literally changed my entire career.
And we'll tell you that story. Keep your eyes out for that one.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
In the comments, you know, tell us your meet and greet experiences. Let us know if you have any questions. Like I said, this is my profession. I do this for a living. I would love, you know, let me answer your questions. Let me tell you my side of it. And you tell me your side. You know, would you recommend it to somebody? Would you not? Tell us why. And maybe we'll do a video on that too. If this gets enough comments, I would love to make a video answering all of your questions. And, you know, maybe make part 3 of meet and greets. So we'll see you next time. Peace.